Welcome back. Time for Ask the Expert. Scott Watson is here from Watson's Pharmacy and Compounding Center. As you saw earlier on the show, on our On the Job segment. If you'd like to place a phone call, and pretty interesting topics today, 613-789-6559, extension 2803. You can also Facebook or email questions. Mr. Watson, sir, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I thought that was highly entertaining to get an inside look at what you do today.
You know what? I thank you guys so much for coming. It's really nice of your organization to come out and show us, because it's something that I love to do, and I'm glad that you guys can help me show that. So
I love the fact that you've included Compounding Center in the name, and there's good reason for that, because you're one of very few. Are you the only ones in town who do this sort of thing?
No, we're not the only ones, but we are one of the few.
Very few.
Very few. That
very few, I would say, you know, in the country that still do this sort of thing on the premises.
That's right. It's kind of a lost art, and I think it's a very good art to do, because there are so many commercial products, but there's a lot of times that those commercial products just aren't suitable. So that's what's great about these little compounding centers like ours. It's
a little bit of a throwback, a retro kind of approach, but it's a good approach in that you're making your customers happy, and that's what it's all about.
It is. It is. It's a great thing, and it's what I enjoy the most. And if you were able to be a pharmacist back in the 1900s when you had to make everything, that would have been a great time for you to be a pharmacist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe you were a pharmacist in a previous life.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to talk about, well, there's our topic today, pharmacy solutions for children, just in time for March break. What kind of things are we going to discuss today?
Well, a lot of times parents will come in and they'll, antibiotics, that's kind of a big issue, and it's kind of, ever since I've been a pharmacist, is whether or not to give your children antibiotics. And, sometimes they are necessary. Sometimes it's a virus and you're not sure, and the doctor says, you know what, I don't really think you need this antibiotic.
Right.
And so it's been an issue for a long, long time. I think the judicious use of antibiotics is very prudent for two reasons. First of all, if you overuse antibiotics, the bugs can actually become resistant to it, which is not a good thing. Second of all, myself, I've taken antibiotics once in a while, and maybe you have too, and you notice after you've taken an antibiotic, it just seems like your immune system isn't as strong as it might have been before you took that antibiotic.
Right.
So
in general.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're
right. So I think it's people and parents, and make that choice very wisely. And I know some doctors will say, you know what, try to get it through this infection, if it's an infection.
Without an antibiotic?
Yep, and just treating it. I know Dr. Owen Hughes, he's often said he prefers parents just to treat with pain relievers for ear infections. Trying to get the kids through without using an antibiotic.
Yeah. Was he a doctor who didn't have small children with ear infections?
He had kids, and but he's also, he's just very practical, and he likes that. So,
yeah.
But should you need antibiotics, what I do like to recommend is these probiotics, and you can do that just with simple yogurt. Some people, there's
really you find that effective for people?
Oh yeah. The yogurts do have live cultures of bacteria, and those are the good bacteria that get into our system, and they can help us. They can help many different things. Of eczema, I've seen them help eczema, but definitely when you're taking an antibiotic that's killing bacteria, it can kill the good bacteria, and you want to supplement those good bacteria back to your system.
Which is why it's called probiotics.
Probiotic. Right. And here are a couple examples. These are a couple designed just for children. The BioGaia is in drops, so some people like to give their infants the BioGaia drops.
What are these for?
Now these are the probiotics, so these are the actual...
So for anything, really?
Anytime you're giving an antibiotic, or some people just like to give this to help the immune system.
Right. Now, is this something you should take on a regular basis, or?
That's right.
Some part of your vitamin ritual or what have you?
It might be an idea for some people. They think it can help with certain kind of eczemas and psoriasis and other conditions. I've seen people try it for treating arthritis and whatnot.
Yeah, it says digestive health, but
that's right.
For arthritis, can I put these directly into my knee then?
No.
Which would be
I don't think it's going to help you. No. But these, there's many manufacturers out there making these, and these are a couple designed just for children. So
here's another
really
one here. These are, what are these? It's a powder, is it not?
That's a powder that could be added to milk, or right into formula, or right into the mouth for that matter.
Yeah. Wow.
And some nice chewable ones for some of the older kids. So those
are the chewable ones.
That's
HMF
right.
Child Probiotic Formula.
That's right.
Oh, it's black currant flavor.
They make them really tasty for kids these days.
Yeah.
So that, if you're going to use it, that is one thing I recommend, either the yogurt or supplementing with.
Right.
Probiotics.
We'll take our first break and give people an opportunity to get on the telephone, ask questions maybe about probiotics or antibiotics or whatever you want to ask. We'll also get into some other topics. We'll talk on eye and ear infections.
Yep.
And some other problems associated with young people in schools. It's Ask the Expert. Scott's willing to take your questions if you're willing to ask them. 613-789-6559, extension 2803. Ottawa.morning@ctv.ca is our email address. If you want to get in touch with Scott and his team at Watson's Pharmacy and Compounding Center, they've got 2 locations, one great website. Get in touch and they can answer even more questions for you. We'll be right back.
The dimples in your back at the bottom of your spine.